Episode 3 left us with so many questions, so let's explore those, talk about some theories, and figure out what's going on in this show. Let's start with the title, Metamorphosis. When it comes to an insect or amphibian, it's the process of transformation from an immature form to an adult form in 2 or more distinct stages. That's interesting because Alien Earth has so much to do with immaturity, maturity, growth, all of that. So that's interesting. Second definition says a change of the form or nature of a thing or person into a completely different one by natural or supernatural means, which definitely comes back at the end of the episode because it seems like there's some gigantic change happening in Wendy. Then we get to Nibs here. And it seems like her body is rejecting this process, rejecting the synth body, like something with her soul or whatever got transferred over, like something is just not working. And it's interesting because so far she's the only hybrid we're seeing having any type of problem like this. And I know Morrow right now is trying to get into this group through the other guy, but she seems to be the one that's actually maybe going to be able to be manipulated. It's interesting that she's also having an identity crisis.
I don't know, I think it's because we're a secret. You know, like they're all code names.
How come Peter Pan? Why didn't we get to choose? How come Wendy gets to be Wendy?
Because Wendy was the first.
What's interesting with that line of dialogue when she said they're like code names, because the hybrids are code, basically. Also with Curly in that scene, you can tell that she feels a kind of way about Wendy, which we learn more about here. She asked Boy Cavalier if Wendy is her favorite. He said no, she's just first, which is interesting because she also just said that in that scene I showed. But the importance of this scene is I think Curly is going to be the hybrid that Boy Cavalier is going to be able to have that conversation he wants with someone smarter than him. Now, with this scene we're about to talk about, I need theories in the comments. This is where things get real. The scene with Wendy and Hermit where the Xenomorph pops up, but it does not hunt them. It decides to walk away and it only attacks them, I think, because Wendy ends up stabbing it through, the truck, through the roof. Now, here's the thing. If Wendy has some type of connection to the specimens, which it seems like she does based on the end of the episode, I get why the Xenomorph might walk away from her, but why did he end up leaving Hermit alone? Like, he had already captured Hermit, right? But in this specific scene, it's not like it's trying to hunt Hermit and then, Wendy having to step in and stop it. It was just going to leave them alone, it seems like. So that's kind of interesting. But speaking of Wendy having some type of connection to it, I know she's been hearing something the first 3 episodes, but did something happen right here? So we see Wendy right here. She got hit in the head. We don't really see what happened. We just see that she's bleeding. But did the alien do something to her that made her a part of this hive mind at the end of the episode? Or has she always been attached to it? I don't know. But also check this out. We have a shot here that shows the Xenomorph, Wendy, and Hermit. Then when we get to the end of the episode, we have essentially the same exact shot here, but now the Xenomorph's been replaced basically by the Prodigy logo, still got Wendy, and then her brother is gone. So what this symbolizes to me is that the company is the alien in this case, and it's something that's evil. Wendy is still here, right? Dead, just like she was in the other scene. And then her brother's disappeared. I think the company is going to disappear her brother either literally or metaphorically. And I think Wendy may end up dead because they're promising her immortality. And I think she's still going to end up dead somehow by the end of the series, or some completely different form where she's no longer Marcy or Wendy or anything close to resembling that. Because once again, the episode's called Metamorphosis. So I don't know if somehow she's going to turn into maybe like an alien hybrid. I don't even know if that's possible. But yeah, I think this foreshadows that she's going to die. Also, when we talk about symbolism, this is interesting because with this metaphor of Peter Pan, Hermit has a hook here, right? And Hook is the villain in Peter Pan. But here's what's interesting about it. In Peter Pan, Hook loses his arm, gets replaced with a hook, but he loses it because a crocodile bites it off. And then the crocodile ends up hunting Hook for the rest of the story. In this, Hermit doesn't lose his arm, but he does lose his lung, and the specimen is implanted in his lung. And because of that, is the Xenomorph going to be hunting Hermit the whole show, like the crocodile was hunting Hook. Now let's get to the best acting of the episode. The sequence with these 3 was just absolutely amazing, and Morrow is just killing it with the acting. Oh my goodness. But this whole sequence introduced a lot and has us asking a lot of questions. The biggest one being this.
When is a machine not a machine?
Let him go.
So once again, just like in the first couple episodes, the question of what is a human, what's humanity, is being raised here, right? But it's interesting in this episode because it's expanding it out even more with the whole specimen being added into Hermit's lung. And then is Wendy still going to be human if she does turn into an alien? Is she still human? Is it even asking us? Because the Xenomorph is acting a little different. Like, is the Xenomorph somehow some part human in this show? And you can tell that Morrow is struggling with his level of being human and robot, right? Because he says in this episode that he has all the worst parts of a man.
Are you a robot?
Wouldn't that be nice? To be all machine instead of what I am. The worst parts of a man.
Also, what a line of dialogue, because they're talking about humanity and being a robot, and robots have parts, and he's saying, I have all the worst parts of a man. That's a bar. If you're enjoying this breakdown, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe so more videos like this will show up on your feed. I'm dropping one for every single episode this season. And I really want to hear your theories and takes on Alien. So go ahead and join the Discord so we can have more of a conversation on there. So in this scene, Kirsh asks Boy Cavalier if it was worth it risking, a decade of research talking about the hybrids to chase something new and fancy or whatever, which is a great social commentary for colonialism, for capitalism, just this constant need for more and conquering things and owning things. But Kirsh is definitely up to something here. He's giving David vibes from previous Alien movies. He is definitely a synth that feels that he's better than humans 100%. You could just tell. And I want to know what he's plotting, but there's something really weird about Kirsh in this episode, which is this. I want to know how he knew how to dissect this specimen if he's never seen it before. Like, it doesn't look like he's guessing what to do. It looks like he knows exactly what to do. And talking about knowing exactly what they're doing, let's talk about this. The part in this scene that blew my mind was that the hybrids have cameras in their eyes, so they're essentially surveillance robots. And I want to know if the parents knew that they were essentially signing up their kids to be these perpetual surveillance slave robots for this company. It hit me when Wendy died and they brought her back, this idea of immortality. It didn't even occur to me in the first two episodes that they're essentially taking children and making them into like slave servants for forever. They don't have any type of freedom. They may have immortality, but they don't have freedom at all. And on that topic of freedom, I'm a little confused by this. So in this scene, Morrow, we kind of have this revelation that it's been 65 years since he, went on his mission. Everybody that he knew before that mission is dead and they're long gone. And now his only purpose is to fulfill this mission because he spent his life on it and gave everything up for it. But why? That's my question. Why? I want to know why he was willing to give everything up to go on this expedition. Like, I don't think it was just the money. Like, I think it's obviously something more than that to leave his daughter, or maybe his daughter died beforehand even, and that's why he went. I don't know, but there's some reason he left and that he's so attached to finishing the mission. I want to know what that is. What do y'all think that is? And also, Morrow was really messed up for this part right here. Morrow essentially groomed this little kid to manipulate him and plant the seed of them becoming friends, right? And he was playing on this kid's isolation and loneliness and used that to his advantage to get it into the Prodigy company. And he knows that these are the souls of kids. Like, he knows that. Like, he's well aware. So that's messed up, Morrow. He may know that, but know what I don't know? Leave your theories for what we're about to show right here. What do you think they are spraying? They put way more attention on the people that are spraying this episode compared to the last couple episodes. What are they spraying? Why are they spraying? And last but not least, biggest question we're left with is this. How is Wendy connected to these specimens? And also, is it some type of hive mind? They all seem to be connected to this one specimen getting dissected. They all seem to be feeling its pain. One last interesting detail here is it seems Wendy seems to completely pass out when it goes inside the lung. And that's when she passes out. I wonder what that's about. But yeah, episode 3 just introduced a lot of questions, left us in the dark on a lot. I want to hear all of your theories. So please leave those in the comments or go ahead and join the Discord so we can have more of a dialogue back and forth on there. What a great episode. Till next week, I'll see y'all.